Okay, so I was asked to do a quick review of the Allan NKJVs. Uh, the specific point being that the scarlet red is in a goat skin, whereas the blacks and browns of the NKJV are in a Highland goat skin. Now this isn't an NKJV here, it's an HCSB, but the dimensions are nearly the same. As you can see here, it's pretty much the same size Bible, so it'll provide a suitable surrogate for analogous comparison. But so the point being, I was asked, and I actually initially said it myself that it was a little bit more stiff, the goat skin over the Highland goat skin, but you know what, I'm going to take my opinion back on that. This goat skin is a high quality goat skin, and it's every bit as supple as the Highland goat skins. In fact, right here I have a brown goat skin NIV. So what we've got here, just so we could contrast and compare, we've got a scarlet red goat skin, we've got a brown goat skin, we've got a black Highland goat skin, and this is a navy blue Highland goat skin. You can probably see the grain differences. The Highland goat skins are a little bit smoother than just the plain goat skin. However, that's not necessarily always the case, because here we have another Highland goat skin for the new NASB Reader's Edition. It's got a little bit more of a grain. I really like it though. It just has a true supple yet durable leather feel. I mean, this is just a thick piece of supple leather. They really made this NAS Reader's Edition a quality Bible. Sorry, getting sidetracked. This is supposed to be about the NKJV. So, point being, here's a black Highland goat skin right next to the scarlet red goat skin. And after speaking with Nicholas Gray, or actually corresponding via email, he said the reason they went with a goat skin is vice a Highland goat skin is they were able to get a brighter, more brilliant red than the typical crimson on their Highland goat skin. So rather than offer it in a crimson Highland goat skin, they went with a scarlet goat skin, and I think it was a good choice. I really like the very bright red. If you notice also, it's got a double gilt line, whereas everything except for the long primers has single gilt lines. Oh, actually, there's no gilt line on the NIV but the goat skin. So here you've got a double gilt line goat skin. Just a beautiful scarlet red. And again, this is a quick review. And as you can see here, here's two goat. We've got a brown goat skin, non-Highland, just regular goat skin, next to the scarlet red goat skin. So you can see very similar in quality. And then I'll replace so you can see here's two Highlands next to each other, and you can see this is a little bit more textured. And then here's another Highland. These two seem very similar here. This is the navy blue, and this is the black HCSB. This is the navy blue NAS. SCR2, and this is the NAS Readers. Just a beautiful Bible. Okay, so back to the NKJV. It's got Holy Bible on the front, double gilt lines. You can get it in scarlet red goat skin or black or brown Highland goat skin. It is a 2-column reference edition. Let's see. It is printed in Korea, just like the HCSB. They're both Holman publishers, so they're both printed in Korea. Let's see here. This is a red letter edition, so we'll have to go to the New Testament to get a sample of that. And there you go, Words of Christ in red. Very similar to the HCSB. 2-column reference edition with Words of Christ in red. I'd say very similar. I think the NKJV is a little bit bolder, but what allows this is because the HCSB, when it quotes the Old Testament, it goes into a significantly bolder print. It's similar to the NAS, how when it's in the New Testament and quotes the Old Testament, it gives everything in all caps. Let's see, there's this is Ephesians 4, and it's a quoting of Psalm 68, and you can see there it's all in caps, which sets it apart from the strictly New Testament text. And they don't really do anything like that in the NKJV or the NIV, but they do it in the HCSB and the NAS, which is pretty cool. So yeah, again, the goatskins are just as supple. I'd say the one area where you're going to find a much stiffer cover, being not nearly as smooth or as supple, and I've really worked hard on breaking this one in, is this is a French Morocco. So it's a lower quality leather, and whereas all of these have, the Highland goatskin and the goatskin have a leather lining, this has a non-leather but lining. It's a synthetic lining, and it had book boards, and I really worked it to get it to be even just this supple. It was very stiff for a while. And then the French Moroccan, much grainier, much rougher. But I got a heck of a gift out of this Bible because someone didn't want it with this inscription on the front, and it allowed me to get a beater Bible for the long primer for my daily reading of the King James, so that I could safely tuck away my Diamond Jubilee and my calfskin navy blue or Atlantic blue 400th anniversary, because of all the jokers on eBay running up the values on that. Because now I'm afraid to even breathe on those long primers. But anyway, back to that. Here's the NKJV. If you like red, which I think is a beautiful color, pull a trigger, get the goatskin. It's just as supple and only slightly grainier than most Highland goatskins. Speaking of which, it's still smoother, a little bit smoother than the Skylar ESV. Speaking of which, I also spoke to Nicholas Gray, and he said that Skylar and R.L. Allan did a joint printing effort via Youngblood in the Netherlands on the text block. ESV, English Standard Version, is copyrighted by Crossway. So Skylar and Allan went and got special permission to do their own printing run of this by the Youngblood in the Netherlands. So basically what I'm saying is the inside text block of the Skylar ESV will be identical to the Allan ESV. Same size, same print. The only difference you're going to get is, Allan tends to be a little bit more bold in their page edge gilting. So you may get a deeper red. And obviously also Skylar had theirs hand bound and by Youngblood, the same people in the Netherlands who did the printing, whereas Allan is going to have theirs bound by their London binder, which is where I think just about everything is bound. They have various printing things. For instance, the NKJV and the HCSB were printed in Korea, and this NAS, the SCR2, was printed in China, as well as, where was this NIV printed? I want to say it was in China, but I may stand corrected. Anglicanized, and I should have spent some time looking on this. Obviously, this is a much raw, printed in China. And that's my raw review there. So, little news flash there about the upcoming Allan ESV. And we'll also be looking forward to the Allan Personal Study Bible, which is basically Crossway's printing with a Allan binding, as well as